an Arizona Lotus Corporation radio station. Stream us on your cell, laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yeah, we took Monday off. Good morning, weirdo.
Good morning. It's so good to hear those words.
I know. Well, honestly, I'm sorry. I'm not even making eye contact because I'm still troubleshooting everything.
Right.
While you were gone, everything burnt to the ground.
Okay.
And it's good to have you back. And let me reintroduce you to the audience. This is my friend Weirdo, everybody. You may have forgotten her, but she was down with the COVID for over a week. Pandemic. It seemed like it. I need you to do me a favor. Start off the show.
Okay.
Spit in my mouth.
Ew.
Put me out of my misery. Get me out of here for a week or two until everything is fixed, because what a pain in the ace, I tell you. Still don't have phones working today, so we're not going to be giving away those Buck Cherry tickets, but we do have text to win for Master Prizes as your listener bait and a lot more. And it looks like our broadcast is good, getting things going on that, but I did have to postpone today's guest, Catastro, which I was excited to catch up with. They released a new song, and if my computer and internet and programs are suitable enough to be able to, do what I need to do, I'll debut new music from Catastro later on for our single song takeover. If we have things that are catalog, but I do have good news. So I have my little hotkeys back, so I could do this.
Okay.
Right. Which is annoying to some. But it's very fickle. Some things work, this beat. If I wanted to get into a rap GPT,
okay,
but not like others. I'm trying to play this OK Boomer song. Nerd Friend works for whatever reason. You remember this beat, which is good. I do like this one, but at the same time, I don't have Pecker Checkers.
Aw,
I know. Pecker Checkers is a classic.
It is.
And so all of my rap GPT songs, I thought for a second, were all wiped out.
Oh no.
And we wanted to kind of compile an EP, the best of the worst, and and release it on Spotify and do all that. And it looked like for a second, a very heartbreaking, terrifying second, that all those files would be dead. But I do have the rough audio of all those files. So hopefully, we'll be able to still do that, to the pleasure of maybe 4 out there.
Got it.
Yeah.
I just never need to leave again. Never can be sick again.
Yeah, maybe it was you.
It's all my fault.
Yeah. I don't know what you did, you witchy woman, but I still like to see your face. So I'm glad that you're back. We still have a lot to get to today. A lot of funny stuff to cover as well. So I'm excited about it. And we got a good weekend ahead of us with your Tucson Roadrunners having back-to-back home games. I'll tell you more about that, but let's just get the music going and see if everything's working. Your Morning Moron's coming up after Giovanni and the Hired Guns. We'll kick things off with a throwback. You know the song. It's Blind Melon, No Rain, on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. All right, we're back here live, and good morning. I see you, Manny. Manny sent me a video, and I've seen this guy before, but of course it's funny. And he's like, I don't know why, but this guy reminds me of you, and I'll see if you could tell exactly why that's the case here, weirdo. All right. Okay. So let me get it pulled up and ready here. When I did that, that was the wrong thing. Whoops. Okay, you're going to see it here in just a second. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the stream. And I don't want to start it off on a slow note, but here's what Manny sent me. This is how my day's starting. All right, so
testicle sack is now so large he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers. His testicle sack is now so large, he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers.
Yeah. Now, luckily, we're on the same age and stuff, so I don't think I'm on that projection. Thank God.
I mean, but immediately somebody posted a GIF of that South Park episode because that's immediately what I was thinking. Like, why is he not bouncing on them?
It's such a great episode too, because especially for guys with large balls, because they make the play that like large balls is like cleavage for women. Right. And then women just they can't take their eyes off it. And it's insatiable to them. And man, if that was the case. Oh, man.
I mean, I can't take my eyes off of the freaking
the
wild.
deformity.
I mean,
but if that was the case, if they were like sexually appealing, I would be the Dolly Parton of radio. And that would be a big deal. You know, I mean, I definitely like, first off, like Wendy Williams would not have a career at all if it wasn't for her chesticles. Okay. So, you know, like big breasts have definitely benefited women in show business and entertainment for decades, if not since the dawn of time, since big boobs became popular. Because sometimes they weren't, right? Sometimes, the popularity or what's in style definitely changes over time. But yeah, if her chesticles advanced her career to where she could have her own television talk show. At this point, with that trajectory, I would have my own network. Yeah, but nope. And good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We got, a lot of fun clips that we're going to share with you this morning and viral videos. And it's just good to have Weirdo back. She was out for was it 10 days?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a week and a half.
Yeah, week and a half.
Yeah. Like last night I was like figuring out, I was like, I've been off the air for a week and a half. What am I going to wear tomorrow? I just hear my boyfriend yell pants. I was like, thanks, babe.
There you go. Yeah. But you don't even need pants because the camera is, waist up. So, but it is cold. So it's always preferred that you wear pants. And I definitely missed you. And I knew those COVID vacations, they come and they suck. And you got hit pretty hard with it, huh?
Oh my God. I was like out of it for so many days. Like the brain fog from COVID is real.
Yeah.
Like I still feel it a little bit, but
yeah, it's going to be a while, but that's okay. Luckily for you, I've been pretty sharp today. And I think it's the lack of sleep and the extra dose of caffeine.
Yeah. Why did you only get 4 hours of sleep?
I honestly, I just could not sleep. That's what it was. So it wasn't any real reason. And then I kept going back to my phone to just kind of scroll, and the blue light would keep me up. So I don't know.
I read so much. I read the entire Hunger Games trilogy in like 3 days. I was finishing a book a day. Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, super good. 15 years late to the party, but super good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
No, that's good. Is that like a book series that you would be proud to brag about to a stranger?
Yeah.
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 So it's that well written. So, okay.
I thought it was really good.
Here's the question of the day. Hunger Games or Harry Potter?
Oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah,
still Harry Potter.
Okay.
But that's just because like the content and the like expansive universe that's come from it. So
and the subtle transphobia.
Okay, that first of all, F her. I'm so mad about that. Like, really? She's like out there like doing the good Lord's work and then like just turfed it up. And I was like, damn it. Yeah. But no, I still love Harry Potter. In fact, we finally got the Hogwarts Legacy game for Switch yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So my husband was giving that a go and we're all really, really excited to like make our own characters. And we were talking to the 10-year-old about it. He's like, because he's only on book 2, right? Because we're trying to like read as he's the age of the characters. And he's like, am I going to get all kinds of spoilers? I was like, no, it takes place 100 years before.
Yeah. It's like, you're good.
Yeah.
You're golden.
Yeah. He's like, well, when did the original books take place? I was like, the 1990s. And then he started referring to things in the 1900s. I was like, stop it. Well,
it's technically the 20th century, and we're in the 21st century. Right
no, he said 1900s. He's like, wow, in the 1900s? I'm like,
no, but
first of all.
It wasn't. Technically, it's the 20th century. But yeah, I guess the 1900s.
Yeah, that's still the 1900s. I was like, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
See, you just messed with my brain fog.
Anthony says that Harry Potter has the most slappable face. I came across a little blurb yesterday, speaking of which, that Daniel Radcliffe, of course, who played Harry Potter, is begging fans to stop getting him tattooed on them.
Really?
Yes. He's like, stop it. Stop it with the Harry Potter tattoos. You could do something better with your body than my face on it. And, and I get it. I get kind of getting weirded out by a stranger, even someone that has your likeness tattooed on them.
Like Austin.
Actually, I didn't get that weirded out by Austin's. I do forget that my face is on Austin's ass.
Yeah. Who else has gotten a tattoo of you?
Well, lead singer of the band Mother has my beef tattoo on his foot.
Okay.
And I said this story before, but when it happened, like he's one of my top 3 singer-songwriters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally put him on that Mount Rushmore of artists that I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
And when he got that tattoo, I was actually weirded out by it in a way. I mean, I was honored. It was a moment. But then I didn't know how to react, and it took a while for me to really appreciate it.
Did you know before he did it?
Yeah, no,
we were going to do it.
We're all drinking and hanging out together.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so there was a conversation. In fact, I still owe him a tattoo on my body I told them I would get the logo for their album Styx, which is a very simple tattoo that I could probably get for $50 on my body. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I am shitty in making a deal. So keep that in mind.
I have a Harry Potter scar, like a lightning scar on my stomach, and it was not like on purpose. Okay. I had my appendix out when I was pregnant with them.
Yeah.
And then electric. I had one stretch mark go up and one go down. So I have a Harry Potter scar on my stomach.
Sexy. All right, let's get in here.
Sexy.
Well, Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. What I would like to say to carry on that, your scar making the Harry Potter, your stretch marks making the Harry Potter scar. Right. I do believe, and this is a common saying, and I really think people really should be reminding themselves of this. Mm-hmm. Imperfection is sexy. So those things, that's what makes you unique. And, so it might look like a stretch mark to you, but it could look like an adorable little marking to someone who's infatuated with you. So, yeah, there you go. Did I lift up your self-esteem enough?
I guess.
Good, because on the podcast broadcast, I'm tearing you down.
Okay.
No. All right, we got music from Pop Evil. We're live on youtube.com/BeVegan. You can join in on the conversation there or keep it right here on Rock 102.1. Here's Skeletons. All right, there we go. Here, let me squeeze this in while we can keep this tight schedule happening. Our Morning Moron today was funny as F. And in case you missed it, went a little something like this. 2.1 KFMA. Very happy to have my bed music back for certain segments like Morning Moron. And it is 6:13, so let's get into your Morning Moron. That feels so good. I didn't have that yesterday. Had Rico attempt to do it. It wasn't the same. It was good. It wasn't the same. No. Right? It's almost like self-pleasuring over sex, Self-pleasuring, yeah, you get the job done. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Definitely not the same, right? All right, today's Morning Moron is brought to you by Meth and Tennessee.
Oh.
Visit Tennessee on Meth.
Bad combination.
Yeah. There's a small town in northern Tennessee called Tazewell. Have you ever heard of it?
Tazewell, no.
Yeah, Tazewell is a town in Tennessee. Oh, look at all those T's. Alliteration, my friends. And, they had a Christmas parade last Saturday, and it featured Santa's train.
Okay.
Yeah, which is very nice. All the kids in town hopped aboard a Santa's train. And it was apparently a motorized lawnmower pulling carts of children. Oh, Tennessee. You're amazing.
First of all, last week was not even mid-November yet.
I know. Oh, they start early.
Okay.
Yeah. They all prepare to get a lot of coal in their stockings. And actually, coal is a good thing in Tazewell, Tennessee. Like, Mama, I got 3 lumps of coal. Oh, it's going to be a good spring, Junior.
We're going to be warm.
Yeah. That's what they say in Tennessee. Well, anyways, witnesses noticed that Santa's train was driving erratically. And they called police. Oh, of course, there's a lot of parents there, I'm assuming.
Right.
Maybe not. And, because it is a Christmas parade. So did police really need to get involved? Did they have to call in like a potential DUI?
How erratically?
I know, it's a lawnmower. It's very odd, right? Like, was this guy trying to go fast and furious? Was he trying to do donuts? Is he just going in and out? Yeah.
While children are flinging off the back.
Yeah. So, the parents were concerned. They did call the cops. And when the cops arrived, they talked to the driver, who was a 40-year-old named Harry Mead. And he was unsteady on his feet, and he failed the field sobriety test. When they searched him, they found a syringe, meth, and several other drugs on Henry.
Ooh. In like his Santa's bag?
No, he wasn't Santa. Santa doesn't drive the train. It's one of his high elves.
Got it.
Yeah. I thought you were familiar with the Christmas folklore.
No.
Yeah, well, he was taken into custody, charged with DUI, possession of methamphetamine, and other drug charges. Now, no children were hurt, right? Although it was probably a buzzkill to have a parade ruined by some meth heads. And the mayor is swearing that it's not the town's fault. They don't hire Henry. And the vendors are all independent contractors. So clean their hands there. But
plausible deniability.
Right. I mean, when you're getting ready to start Santa's train on this lawnmower with a bunch of carts, I know you shouldn't necessarily judge someone by their appearance, but if they appear to be shooting methamphetamine, which is a look, by the way, then maybe you should be like, Henry, maybe you shouldn't drive the train.
Maybe you should stay home today.
Yeah. Well, there's other stuff that you can do. Go run the roller coaster or something. But either way, getting high on meth and then erratically driving Santa's lawnmower cart train so bad that in a parade that bystanders call police on you just for you to get arrested with possession. Definitely makes Henry probably one of the dumbest morning morons of all time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tennessee. All right, that was our morning moron from earlier today on the podcast broadcast. We're back here live on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, let me ask you this question. Was there a movie that you were enjoying, but there was just one character that was so god awful that it ruined that movie experience for you? Yeah, and because I have a list that might jog your memory on some, but if you could think off the top of your head, what was the last movie you did not enjoy?
Did not enjoy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you just
a minute?
I keep asking all these hard-hitting questions, blowing your mind, huh? Okay.
I mean, in Guardians of the Galaxy, I could not stand Star-Lord. But then I feel like he redeemed himself in the last movie.
Okay, you shut your mouth about Star-Lord. There's no, bad talk about Chris Pratt in that role here. Yes, he was made to be Star-Lord, and it was a good movie. And good trilogy. Actually, the third one was kind of a bust, but still. Here's an example. According to Far Out basically posted 10 and I'm not going to give you 10, but I'll give you some of the most notable ones that I think most people can agree on.
Okay.
Well, let's start off with this. You remember when Suicide Squad was all the rage? Everyone was dressing up like Harley Quinn.
Yes.
And they were excited about that movie. That movie ended up being a stinker. And one takeaway from it was Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's terrible Joker.
Yeah. Playing the mumble rap tattooed face Joker.
Yeah.
People did not like that style and did not like Jared Leto doing it. It almost ruined his acting career.
Yeah.
And I actually, if there is one takeaway, I think it made him a nicer person because I think I interviewed him after that movie came out, and he was super nice and cordial, and that wasn't the reputation that I was prepared for, right? Or heard beforehand, because up until that point, he probably felt like his S didn't stink. He's, platinum recording artist, Oscar-nominated actor, one of the best-looking men on the planet. He could just do no wrong. And then he played the Joker, and it was probably super humbling because he was really bad. And he still wants to play the Joker, and everyone's like, no.
Didn't he have more time as the Joker in the Snyder cut? Is that what it was called?
They had more scenes. There was a couple scenes in there, but whatever. It's not like the Snyder cut, something to hang your hat on. Because there was people that wanted it and said it was the better of the two versions, but both versions sucked. And, basically almost made the DC universe implode. Right now, just the comic book genre is not doing well on both sides.
No.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens when, James Gunn actually gets DC up and rolling with some of their projects. I do know that Peacemaker was a fantastic show, and I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah. When is it? Have the announcements coming out?
It's coming out soon enough.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple things that we're kind of waiting to get released on Max before we, redo our subscription. But Peacemaker, I rewatched that at least 5 or 6 times.
Max
is so good.
Max is such a weird company at this point because they are shelving projects that are done just for the tax write-off. And the latest example is speaking of Peacemaker, John Cena voiced Wile E. Coyote versus Acme.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. So it's a Looney Tunes film. It's an animated film. I remember talking about it with Powers and he got super geeked out about it. I didn't see how this would be that good. For whatever reason, Warner Brothers announced that they were just going to shelve it and use it as a $30 million tax write-off. Right now, of course, that made people online upset. Like, again, you keep like killing all these projects that we're ready for. Remember, we're supposed to have a Batgirl. Like, that movie was made with Michael Keaton as Batman. It is 100% completed, and we will never see it at all. It won't see the light of day.
What a waste.
I know, but that's kind of the moves that they're making as a company right now, just for the tax incentives. But the good news for Wile E. Coyote and Acme is that now Warner Brothers is allowing the filmmakers to shop the property to different distributors, right?
Okay.
With Amazon seeming to be the favorite.
Okay.
Why this is historic, this will be the first time a Looney Tunes movie or television show will be on something that wasn't owned by Warner Brothers.
Okay.
If they do release it.
Yeah.
So, but still, I mean, that's a lot of money too, to just stream it on Amazon.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hearing about God damn it. I want to see it. Especially if they got Michael Keaton in it. They completed it.
The Batgirl. Yeah, you're back on
yeah.
Batgirl. That's on, but we were talking about Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, either way, there's probably a lot of projects that you might be excited about, and they might even build some buzz. But if they aren't like top notch up to the standard that Warner Brothers is looking at right now, or, don't need a reason to have a massive tax write-off, we're not going to get these projects. So it's interesting. Yeah. But anyways, yes, Joker, Suicide Squad, played by Jared Leto, kind of ruined the entire movie. Here's another example, and I don't think that you'll disagree with this one. What about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so disappointing too, because the internet theory that Jar Jar Binks was secretly Sith and that was going to play out would have saved the that trilogy. I really do believe so. Seeing the turn on Jar Jar Binks would have like caught everybody off guard. It would have been exactly what Star Wars needed at that time.
Yeah.
And we were robbed of that because the blowback of Jar Jar Binks being cultural appropriate and goofball and annoying kind of took away from Phantom Menace and really gave it mixed reviews and essentially failed. It failed according to the expectations of what a sequel to Star Wars should have been. So that's unfortunate.
Right. Considering how much buildup there was, because came out in 99.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much buildup there was. And then just one character solely. That's all anybody can talk about.
That's what it was. Well, and honestly, let's be real. The boy Anakin Skywalker was annoying as hell too. I honestly think the boy Anakin Skywalker is more annoying than Jar Jar Binks. Because he's just like, oh, Cunito, yeah. Like, shut up. Get evil already, We
know where you're headed.
Yeah. and then one more, most notable, most recent, portrayal of a character that ruined an entire movie. Did you watch Elvis, the movie that was released recently?
No.
It had a fantastic lead performance of the man who played Elvis. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head.
Austin.
Austin what? Whatever.
Austin,
it's something like that. He's a good-looking, talented kid, and he played Elvis pretty well. And I really enjoyed that film. But the takeaway that people did not like from that film was Tom Hanks playing Colonel Tom Parker and his weird-ass accent and just the way that he looked.
Didn't he have a fat suit too?
Yeah,
whole thing.
Look, when he was younger, man, he would gain weight and lose weight just like a lot of like dedicated actors would. But as you get older, that's harder to do. Usually you can gain weight for a role, but you're not losing that weight, right?
Well, now he has type 1 diabetes as well. A lot of people don't know that.
You were such a buzzkill today.
I know, but
did you come back from COVID just hey, speaking of which, here's something mildly depressing.
Right, but this is something that, I think Hugh Jackman started the conversation about. It's like what men do for roles that nobody kind of talks about, like getting super shredded or again doing that weight gain, weight loss, and what actual effect it has on them. And for Tom Hanks, he did. There would be times that he would be heavier, times that he'd be thinner. Like, it does take a toll on the body.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of those weird opposite misogyny things that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Is what the hell for men?
Now I'm back on board.
Okay,
yeah,
exactly.
Don't be misogynistic against men. That's messed up.
Right. That we have these unreasonable expectations for men in movies when it comes to the superhero roles and all these things of they had to prepare for a month for a 4-second scene. Oh my God, what's his name? The guy who played Thor. He's I hated it. when
Chris
they did
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
He begged for a non-shirtless scene. Like he's like, please don't make me take my shirt off because it's too much on my body.
He was looking great though, and I think the ends justify the means.
So
yeah. But those were some characters that ruined a movie. I'm like, cry me a river. You got an 8-pack, and you're the most desirable man on the planet. Boo effing who? All right, let's hit the reset. We're gonna keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. YouTube.com/beefvegan. Clear.
It's the most tangented conversation.
Tangented?
We went on a bunch of tangents. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was like, hey, let's bring it back. Bring it back, man.
Got it.
Yeah, you're like, hey, let's talk about Tom Hanks' diabetes. Like, brutal. Let's see what Jeff say. There's E.T. and in the Senate. Extraterrestrial. Let's see.
E.T. in the Senate.
I don't know that reference, but did you see the two senators? I know you saw the two senators that almost got into a brawl, and Bernie Sanders had to intervene.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's stupid. We're not getting into it, but it is ridiculous. It was a congressman who used to do MMA, a Republican congressman, going against a Teamster, and the head of the Teamsters, and the head of the Teamster was running his mouth on Twitter, being like, this guy's a chump, and I beat his ass. And he named the time, named the place, and the guy was like, well, how about now?
Right.
In this Senate hearing, there's a time. We'll do it right here on the floor. And then, as tough as they were sounding, then they're still doing a Senate hearing. So they're still nerds. And then they still censored their vocabulary so they wouldn't curse. Like, I'll whoop your butt. No. You don't shit talk. Right. And then, say but in any kind of context involving violence. If you're not cursing in your threats of violence, you already lost the fight.
Yeah, it just
but
looks
the
like a
guy
cartoon.
responded back, no, I'll whip your butt. And then all of a sudden I'm having flashbacks of third grade, the two nerdiest kids in class that you kind of pushed together so they would fight for your entertainment. And then their smack talk is so goddamn geeky that you're like, you know what, guys, just sit down.
This wasn't worth it.
That happened in the Senate yesterday. That's where we're at as a nation. It's insane.
Oh, I'm gonna find the video of that.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. You'll find it on X. It's not a problem.
You stand your butt up.
Yeah,
is
dude.
One of the quotes.
Yeah, you stand your butt. Shut up, dude. So so nerdy. And I had more expectations from the leader of the Teamsters. Teamsters used to be all mafia back in the day, Jimmy Hoffa and stuff. Jimmy Hoffa is rolling over in his grave that's underneath the National Library of Congress or whatever, wherever his grave is. So it's ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there. Earlier this morning, we had a fun little segment about the music news and the announcement of the When We're Young Festival and what makes next year's festival different than previous years. It's pretty interesting. And in case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out. Yes, 7:50 and time for the music news of Weirdo. What's our rundown here, Weirdo?
Well, something I'm super excited about. When We Were Young Festival 2024 has announced its lineup and a little special treat for everybody.
Okay, yeah. So who's headlining When We Were Young next year?
All right, so we got My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Jimmy Eat World, kind of the usual suspects.
Right. Well, last year it was Green Day and Blink-182, with Blink-182 stealing the show.
Right.
Do you think, say, Fall Out Boy would have that same mass appeal?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because again, it pulls on the heartstrings of that nostalgia. It's really good, especially next year when these bands will be playing their top album in its entirety as their sets.
Okay.
So My Chemical Romance doing The Black Parade,
Yep.
Jimmy Eat World doing Bleed American, and something I just saw, which I do love Atreyu, been a huge fan of theirs. They're going to do The Curse in its entirety, which they have never done before.
Wow. So are all bands participating in When We're Young going to be doing their albums in their entirety?
So far at whenwewereyoungfestival.com, they are showing every band doing that except for Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy is the only one that has not listed an album.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, we've had a lot of good singles, but our albums collectively have sucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm trying to think if I really did listen to any of their albums from beginning to end over and over again.
I would tell you the one that's off of Thanks for the Memories, the album where all their song titles lack vowels.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's that standout album. But of course, they might have some other songs and want to do that cover of We Didn't Start the Fire. But they better get with the program, man. Pick an album.
From Under the Cork Tree, Infinity on High, and American Beauty / American Psycho. Those were albums I did listen to from beginning to end.
So I think the Infinity High was the one with Thanks for the Memory?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one that you should go with.
Yeah.
And that's just my humble opinion. And unfortunately for them, I'm usually right about these things. What else you got going on in music news?
All right. So, with inflation and everything, a lot of people who do still smoke talk about how expensive it is for a pack of cigarettes. Well, we're looking at over $10 a pack now.
It gets up there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I quit over a year ago, so I am out of that.
Humble brag.
But we're about to see the most expensive pack of cigarettes to be sold in history.
Oh, how much is it? And is it Newport's?
It is menthol. It is American Spirits, and the auction is going to start off at $1,750.
Wow, it's an auction. That's a lot.
Yes.
Why?
Because they were owned by Kurt Cobain, possibly his last pack of cigarettes ever. His roommate from the rehab that he went to right before he took his own life.
Yeah.
His roommate kept these cigarettes, for 25 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
30 years.
Yeah, that is odd. I'll say this. I smoked menthols in the 90s as well. Maybe that was a thing, but that explains Kurt Cobain's growl. You know, when he would scream, that was a mentholated scream, so you could hear it all over his vocals when he sang. And I wonder if he had if he didn't smoke menthols, if he would have a clear, clean voice of an angel, because he sang well.
He did.
But that extra crispness that, because I sound like this, that I would assume is 100% attributed to menthol, even though they are American Spirits, and American Spirit likes to have the reputation of being a cleaner
cigarette.
Yeah.
Oxymoron.
Right.
Yeah. So then, and a couple other items will be going on auction, but I think it was last year they also, auctioned off a bunch of his stuff, like notes from songs, things like that. So it's interesting to see that there's still some of his stuff to auction off.
I'm not upset that he kept that pack of cigarettes as nostalgia. I literally was just gifted a basket from a grocery store, right? It was one of those handheld that you would use to go shopping in a grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all beat up, and it's about 30 years old. And the reason why I was gifted it, my late friend who passed away, one of my best friends, he used that basket to do a kind of a grocery store run.
Okay.
This is how we would in high school. We'd have barbecues, and basically he was the crazy one who would walk in the store, pretend like he's shopping, and then just walk out. Oh. And then my buddy Ryan gave me that as a keepsake. And I'm like, as much as I love and miss my best friend, it does look like trash. And I'm like, why? I might bring it in the studio, collectively put some other trash in it. Nice. But that's a keepsake. So I understand why he would keep a pack of cigarettes. Right. At least you can still smoke the pack of cigarettes. I don't think I could even carry anything in this basket.
It's just going to fall apart.
Yeah. Anyways, that's your music news. We have so much more to get to. 2 hours to go, plus your podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/bevegan when we go live. But you can. All right, so we're back here live. An excellent job in your music news. Let's look at this video real quick. Here's a fair warning for the holidays. Now, each and every year, we always have stories about basically Christmas ornament fails. For whatever reason, people like to utilize some ornaments for butt stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. You recall any of these stories? I mean, now you've been with the show for over a year, so you did a Christmas with us. I'm pretty sure that we have talked about this. Doctors who have gone viral on TikTok for giving his advice to everybody for the holiday season involving ornaments. This is what he had to say.
So Target already has some of their Christmas decorations out, and I feel like I should stop for a moment as a doctor and give a small PSA. Do not put this where it doesn't belong. Do not put this where it doesn't belong. While we're at it, don't put this where it doesn't belong. And this, don't put this where it doesn't belong. Do me a favor and don't put this where it doesn't belong. Or this, or even this little one. I don't care that this is ribbed. Do not put this where it doesn't belong. Not this. Not this. Don't even think about it. Definitely not. You'll get a splinter. I just know you'll get a splinter. Anyways, happy holidays. Stay safe out there. Don't put things where they don't belong. Please. Please. There are things that belong there, not those.
All right. And he seems like the expert here because he's a doctor. Now, I want to actually, I full disclosure, I've never had butt stuff, right?
Okay.
Nothing. I'm assuming you have?
Not my thing.
Okay,
Not my
but
thing.
if you were to think about maybe possibly experimenting, I want you to rate these ornaments as possible pleasure pockets. Okay. So again, as he goes through, I mean, he really does a really good job in Target to find all the kind of like Christmas butt plugs. All right, so this on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you evolve this into the bedroom?
2.
Okay, good. Yeah, too girthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. All right, let's see. What about this one?
I feel like that one's higher because, right, like you could build up to it. Like there's little stopping points.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You're like, boop, boop, boop.
That's good.
Boop.
Slower.
Yeah. So be careful of that one. All right. So let's see. 1 to 10 was about that one.
Kind of same as the last one. And it even is like a little bit rounded as well.
Yeah. So what you got at the tip is beginner's level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can work your way up, but in a reasonable fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. That makes sense. What about this one? I'd say big no on this one for many reasons, but I think it's hollow up top. So like
first of all, they're all glass, right? Like that's terrifying.
Well,
like,
that happens.
Like hollow glass.
Yeah, that happens. And I've been doing morning radio long enough. I've seen so many stories of people using glass ornaments and then, squeezing or coughing or sneezing. And then worst case scenario.
Blinking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, not good.
So that's
you
a
do
0.
not want internal bleeding. That's a
0 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one, a little small. No. This one?
That just looks uncomfortable. Like, okay, right? Because it's got shoulders. Like, it just reminds me of birthing a child. That was the hardest thing to do, was to get the shoulders out. So,
yeah.
No.
The old reverse butt birth. Mm-hmm. That one looks like a toy straight up. Yeah. Okay, this one.
The fact that he said it was ribbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking 10 out of 10 for that? Honestly, like if you go to Fascinations, I guarantee you'll find a toy that looks exactly like that. The fact that that's even a Christmas ornament, who are you even fooling? Yeah, Target. There's no way. That doesn't look like a tree by any means. Mm-mm. So is there a butt plug section in Target? Possibly.
I believe they have sex toys at Target online.
But not like in the store. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back. We just did a breakdown of Target Christmas ornaments, not to keister. And you can see that replay, youtube.com/beefvegan. And of course, the weirdo review. Oh, she gave a fantastic review of all these potential love toys.
Yeah.
That you can get in the Christmas section of Target.
'Tis the season. Let's go.
All right. Well, we're back here. I got a couple things I could cover. I'm just going to try to figure out which direction to go. I usually do the TMI top 5 around this time. Mm-hmm. And of course, the holidays is probably the most stressful time of year for a lot of Americans, right? And the American Psychological Association just released the Stress in America 2023 report. Mm-hmm. And what would you think the number one thing that most Americans are stressed out about each and every year, but right now, currently?
Either dealing with family or money.
Okay. Dealing with family for holidays is probably high on the list, but these are your top 5 things that stress us out as Americans. Okay. And money and the economy is number 1.
Okay.
Now here's some good news, bad news. Okay. So gas right now is at a low for the entire year.
Really?
Yeah, which is just in time for Thanksgiving, right? Okay. So Americans are going to spend less money on gas when they travel. It looks like recent reports saying this is going to be one of the most traveled Thanksgivings that we've had since like 2003.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the good news is we will spend less money on gas in we'll spend less money on gas this holiday season. The bad news is it costs about, on average, $2,000 for a turkey. So, that's kind of balances out.
Right.
And honestly, that joke would have been way better if I didn't F it all up with my setup. But anyways, money in the economy, number 1, the stress for Americans. Number 2, health issues.
Yeah.
Here's something that I always think about when I get myself down, because it happens, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's a Confucius quote, where it says a healthy man will want a million things.
Right.
And I'm misquoting him, but a sick man only wants one.
Right.
Right. So, health issues, obviously, if you're dealing with your health, and that's a problem. Luckily enough, I have an eye doctor appointment coming up But the reason why I got the eye doctor appointment is because that's the only doctor I know in town. And my hope, and she said that she could do this, she could help set me up with a PCP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got to get in and get a nice little eye exam, potentially get glasses, look like a nerd, whatever. I'm falling apart anyways. But then if I could pivot my way and skip the line of the waiting for a doctor to take a new patient thing that happens in our society today would be amazing. But health issues, no, number 2 on the stress. TMI top 5 things that stress us out in as Americans, future of our country and social divisiveness. Yeah. I mean, we see it more during big election years. And I don't think we're as stressed this year or last year as compared to 2016, 2020.
Right.
But next year is going to be a stressful year for sure.
Yeah.
So
Not looking forward to
enjoy
it
your
at all.
family gatherings this year when political talk will be, not at a minimal. It'll be ramping up. But it won't be at, fever pitch.
Yeah. Not like next year.
Yeah. Number 4, mass shootings and violence, which is just sad that this stresses out Americans, according to this, poll. But it's an unfortunate fact of life. And number 5, global conflicts.
Yes.
Right now, we're so focused on Israel and Gaza that I think the media forgot there's still a war going on in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I have not seen
still happening.
I have not seen anything.
Right.
Honestly, since the conflict in Gaza started happening, I have not seen a single write-up, headline, update, anything on Ukraine, which is insane to me. That whole region right now is very stressful. And if you think you're stressed out about it, think about living there and how stressed the people, the innocent bystanders, which are aplenty, right? That all sitting there in a war-torn countries, not knowing what's going to happen. I don't know why I'm going so serious and depressed. Let's hit the reset. I got funny videos to share with you.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be a nice
that was your TMI
stress
top
relief.
5.
Let's watch something funny.
Dude, wait. Do you want some steps on how the APA says you can limit stress?
That'd be great. Why don't you give us 3 real quick?
Identify your main stressors and then limit them.
Okay.
It's the reason why Power's not on the show anymore.
Stop reading the news. Got it.
Unfollow social media accounts that make you worry.
Stop doom scrolling. Got it.
Yeah, doom scrolling is a thing, right? And then focus on what you can control.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Positive.
There we go.
Woo! We got out of that one. All right, keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. Yeah, sorry. That got close to political. Let's hit a hard reset on that. I got funny videos to share with you and more. In fact, actually, Weirdo had a jaw-dropping moment earlier today when she came across this video. And so I want to share it with you right here. Honestly, though, it was okay to talk a little political just now because Frank show's out. They're not on the air today. So, I'm just jacking all those old people. Be like, come with us. We'll get you all upset and things. All right.
Up in arms.
Yeah, up in arms. Thank you. See, I was doing so well until I started the show. All right. Here's the video. What up, 10? Good to see you. All right. So here, check this out.
Rate your ex 1 to 10.
On looks?
Yeah.
8.5.
What do you think she would rate you?
5, 6.
Who broke up with who?
She done me.
Do you miss her still?
Yeah. I thought I was gonna marry her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Have you moved on?
No.
Why did you break up?
I think we wanted different things. You can't change what someone wants.
What's your favorite memory with her?
Cuddling and watching movies. I remember when she left, I never felt my bed that cold and empty.
What would you tell her if she was here right now?
I love you.
Now, as much as it's relatable, at the same time, I'm thinking this guy is trying to bang the girl that's asking him questions. A little bit. Right. I mean, it's coming on pretty thick, but, I get that too. Let's continue.
I miss you. Is this making you reconsider the breakup? I think about you all the time.
Yeah, kind of.
Wanna go talk to him? And I wish we could be together. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Great.
Oh.
I didn't know that's how you felt.
We don't usually do this, but you
Wrong ex.
Like, that is not at all what I was expecting.
That is great.
This is like, oh my God, we're going to see this beautiful reunion. Wrong one.
That's fantastic. Like not her.
Not this one.
She was the one after the one. Yeah.
She was the one I wanted to get away.
Yeah. But of course, it's the crazy one that you don't want that's going to be participating in surveys like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we jump back in the conversation about, new norms, including the de-evolution of Chuck E. Cheese this morning. It was a pretty good segment. In case you missed it, it went like this. Check it out. Rock 102.1 KFMA 5-Finger Death Punch here on Beef Vegan Presents. I'm still bummed at the news that Chuck E. Cheese is getting rid of their animatronic robots. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you didn't hear this. Yeah, you were down with COVID. But
I've been under a rock.
yeah, so the news broke yesterday, and it's kind of like a knee-jerk reaction to the release of Five Nights at Freddy, which wasn't a movie that broke any box office records. Not too many people saw it. I mean, hell, it was more popular as a game. That's the reason why they made the movie. And then they attempted to make the movie, and it sucked, and nobody cared. But that was enough for Chuck E. Cheese to say, oh, maybe we're done with these. Maybe they're creepy. And, in the podcast broadcast, you'll see, here's Chuck E. Cheese, the robot, seen here, tired of your kids-ish, and just wanting to end it all. I mean, when you look at these robots, too, they've been around for so long that they are starting to look terrifying.
Yeah.
They're just kind of run down and ragged, and the shag carpeting fur that they've been rocking since like the early 90s had just not held up like it was originally planned. But now it is going to be gone, and Chuck E. Cheese is going to do a rebrand. Now, there is one franchise owner who had the foresight to say, no, I'm keeping these robots if everybody else is getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be the Chuck E. Cheese that still has the robots. Right?
Okay.
And then we'll update it with killer hit current songs like Pink, Let's Get the Party Started.
15 years ago.
Yeah, if you want to go see the creepy animatronic robots still play, you got to go to Northridge, California to visit that location. So now Northridge is on the map. So congratulations. But, times are changing here, Weirdo. We've been around for a minute, and, these chain restaurants and fast food restaurants that we grew up with are kind of like, evolving into dystopian future like.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, without animatronic robots, that's a sign of Armageddon to me. It's very depressing. Up in Phoenix, our neighbors to the north, they're doing some very odd ways to keep people out of their parking lot. That seems straight out of like Demolition Man or something from like a dystopian future kind of movie.
Yeah.
Now, when you were in high school, did you hang out in any fast food parking lots? Was there a spot for you and your crew to chill at and meet up at?
Yep.
Well, okay, what was it?
El Potosino, next to Fling Wells High School.
El Potosino? What was that? Like a taco shop?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Little fast food Mexican restaurant.
Right. And so the kids at your high school would all just kind of gather there, whether it's after school or on a Friday night. And that was the meetup spot. And then you'd find out where to go and party from there.
Exactly. Or just lunch every day. 3 taquitos for like $1.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. And I had those kind of places growing up. There was, at my one high school, the McDonald's. Was the parking lot hangout, and we did get into a lot of trouble there. So I understand why a franchise would not want a bunch of teenagers or anybody loitering in their parking lot. It would be bad for business. It's bad luck. But at this point, to go to these extremes seems kind of odd. See, this Taco Bell on Bethany Home Road in like, I want to say 19th Avenue up there. It's not the best area of Phoenix. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's getting gentrified. It's in the Christown Mall shopping center. And apparently they had a bunch of kids and people hang out in that parking lot for whatever reason. Maybe it was a meetup spot before they cruise, or it's just kids just, trying to hang out because they got nowhere else to go.
Right.
What they decided to do was set up this kind of like security cart. It's almost one of those like police radar trailers that are on the side of the road. You drive by and it tells you how fast you're going. Just like that.
Okay.
But it has a blaring loudspeaker that repeats this message over and over again.
Thanks for visiting Taco Bell. This property is being monitored for guest safety and security. Loitering is not allowed and will be alerted to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that, first off, that's creepy, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, this loud message goes on and on and it has been like throughout the night. So it wasn't like, they had peak hours of loitering. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this would be going off.
Thanks for visiting Taco Bell. This property is being monitored for guest safety and security. Loitering is not allowed and will be alerted to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Is this in a neighborhood?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, there's houses surrounded the entire place.
Oh, I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah, and neighbors are annoyed. They don't love the loud message in the wee hours of the night, And I guess in the daytime, traffic is too loud for them to kind of overhear it. But this thing has been going on almost around the clock. So it's almost, if I was a customer, you're like, oh, wow, I'm not even allowed to eat here. I can't even like sit in my car and eat 3 cheesy wraps, by myself, so no one could judge me.
Yeah.
I have to do that on the road and endanger others as I steer with my knee and shove my face while I'm double fisting 7-layer burritos. That ain't cool, Taco Bell.
Yeah, I would not want to enjoy my Crunchwrap Supreme with that.
Yeah. So, we are getting inching closer and closer to a very weird Big Brother-like, non-fun, robot-filled future. All right, that was depressing. Here, let's cheer you up here. Let's cheer you up with that Senate brawl that we were talking about, and Bernie Sanders jumping in and saying, "Hey, cut this shit out," without cursing, of course. But yeah, this is the video that you missed here yesterday. We made all the news. So this is Republican Senator Mullen. He stood up, tried to fight Teamster President Sean O'Brien. O'Brien, yes. So here's how this went.
Self-made. Sir, I wish you was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company myself. And my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution every poll?
First of all, he's in shape.
He is in shape, but we're back at Rockwell 2.1 KFMA. Obviously, that was a soundbite that embarrassed all of the Senate yesterday of the 2 people. Stand your butt up then. No, you stand your butt up. Okay. Now, we went from we are doing a Senate hearing to we are hanging out on a 3rd grade playground, right? And 2 nerds who never won a fight in their life are talking smack back and forth. That's the takeaway. I don't care what the political parties involved are doing this.
It's just bananas.
It's cringe, dude. If you're going to talk smack and you're going to call somebody out for talking smack,
right?
Obviously you're going to pick the best time and place. Senate hearing is probably the worst time and place. But if you're going to do it, you're going to at least want to like kind of freshen up on how to do it properly and not sound like a complete dweeb in the process. And very laughable at best. At best, it's laughable. It's ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous.
I know, so stupid. But that's where we're at. It's very entertaining. You get to a point where it's like it looks like our politicians are more entertaining than reality TV, more entertaining than Golden Bachelor. Are you kidding me? And they fight the same way.
Wait, has Golden Bachelor started yet?
I just threw out something. I know that. Yeah, I think it has actually. Okay. It's pretty buzzworthy. But anyways, here's as we pivot, here's something that I feel like is just a bad business move. And the holidays are coming upon us, and of course a lot of people will be flying out to different locations, and the biggest fear for people who are flying all over the country is not getting to the airport on time to check in. Now, the thing is, usually when you go on these vacations, a lot of people don't want to do the self-parking and go through all that hassle. They'll just take a taxi or a ride share there. Right. Well, Lyft, of course, knows it's a busy season, and they made this bold promise that I feel like they're going to lose a ton of money on. They are promising on-time holiday airport trips, or they will pay up.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you already see the promise there.
They're going to be paying up.
That's what I'm saying.
Traffic is awful already.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was driving around yesterday and I was like, where the hell did all these people come from?
Dude, and that's like here in Tucson, which is bad. The major cities are even worse, especially during that time of year. They say if a Lyft driver is more than 10 minutes late for a scheduled airport pickup in most major U.S. markets, the company will give travelers $20 in Lyft cash. So the best part, if you're trying to get at least a free Lyft ride, you want to book your flights during rush hour.
Right.
Where they're going to be bumped.
No, what's going to suck is when Lyft is like, oh, by the way, we're not giving you the credit. Your driver is. Like, so they're probably not actually losing money. It'll be the driver.
Well, they say this. If the riders are not matched with the new driver within 10 minutes, they'll receive $50 in Lyft cash. And if passengers opt for another ride service like Uber due to the delay, they can request an additional $50 on top of that. Yeah, totaling as much as $100 for their, lack of service. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a marketing technique right here in the holidays, but I do feel like they're going to be doling out the money. I think a lot of people have done the ride share before and have been seriously disappointed by drivers picking them up either not on time or canceling after waiting and all that stuff, especially during peak hours.
Yes.
Yeah, and holidays, it's always peak hours.
Right, and it's just so stressful because, again, your flight's going to take off without you.
You
got to get there.
Right, and if that's the case, I'm going to take my $100 credit and I'm going to apply that to the driver saying, okay, looks like we're going cross country. You're going to get paid a lot one way, but you're on your own on the way back.
Yeah, right.
All right, we got your beef tip coming up after these words. Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so, yeah, kind of tight with the beef tip, but that's good. Yeah, that is okay. All right, let's see. New generation of them. Holiday traffic has started and snowbirds are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we all know that the traffic in this town just sucks in general.
Right.
It is just the worst because it's not planned. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tucson City planners didn't do great.
All right. How many dishwashers do you have? Do you have any?
Dishwashers?
Yeah.
Like
not people who wash the dishes like a machine.
I have one.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
and
one in my house.
You think that's normal, but apparently the new trend for the Richies is having 2 dishwashers. Yeah, there's a new trend of people having a second dishwasher installed so that you can do more cleaning at once, including the pans. That seems lazy and absurd.
Is it just to avoid? Because like you load up your dishwasher and you always have that few you have to hand wash because they are too big.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying.
Possibly.
Dumb.
Yeah. I mean, a report asked people who have 2 dishwashers why. And they asked that emphatically, like, why? It's like having 2 microwaves. What? But they say the benefits include having additional room to wash pots and pans, so the bigger items.
Okay.
And having a separate dishwasher for all the kids' stuff. Yeah. And having the space to clean up after a dinner party without doing it in shifts. Again, this is all rich people shit.
Dinner parties are you hosting?
When you're rich, you host a lot.
All the time?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
hold on. So this is another reason to stay poor, so I can stay antisocial. Sweet.
This is an example of me not being rich. My last little birthday party that I threw, it was catered by Jersey Mike's. And still, I was like, this is expensive, but I got tons of points. So I did get a free giant after that. And it was well worth it, honestly.
Worth it.
Yeah. All right. I'll give you a little bit of today's confession session because it was a weird one. Because, of course, Weirdo's back doing all her things. In case you missed it, one little something like this. Check it out. Yeah, Buck Cherry, who is coming to the old Pueblo at the Rialto here in a few months, and we'll give away tickets for that as soon as we get our phones back up and running. Hopefully soon, maybe tomorrow. Well, I would love to interact and play some games tomorrow and give out tickets. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Till then, let's get into a confession session. It's been way too long, and I know you accumulated lots of emails during your absence. Of course, confession sessions are anonymous confessions that you want to get off your chest. Sometimes it's a request for any type of terrible advice, and we have a plethora of terrible advice. So a lot of times, I think the best way to approach anything like this is to do the opposite of what I suggest. And maybe listen to Weirdo a little bit, but we'll see. What's our first confession, Weirdo?
All right. Backing out of my driveway, I ran over my girlfriend's cat and didn't know what to do. So I put it in the trunk of my car and threw it over a bush about a mile down the road.
Oh.
The next day, I helped her look for the lost cat for hours. I am starting to feel quite guilty about this. Should I fess up or should I stay with the lie?
Stay with the lie. 100% stay with the lie. Yes. And all you can do is just, each and every day, wake up early and say, you want to go look for Fluffy today? Let's go look. Every single day, I'm not going to give up, and show her that you are all in trying to find her lost love, which is her cat.
Yeah.
And never speak of it again. In fact, you're an idiot for even sending that email to Weirdo, honestly.
Just every time you feel guilty, just take a drink of beer. You'll be all right.
Take a drink of beer.
Take a shot.
All right, yeah.
It'll make you not feel feelings.
That's
It'll
true.
be fine.
That's true serum, though, Weirdo. So,
Oh, that is true.
yeah. So I would say, actually, I would avoid alcohol and sex for up to like 2 months.
Okay.
So because if it's still like a burden on your soul, you're gonna reveal it either when you're drunk or you just orgasm. That's when the truth comes out.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes,
Guys
that is
just-
accurate.
Yeah. The pillow talk guys right after they're done.
My favorite moment, I think.
Yeah. No.
I don't know why.
I know. I once had sex so good that right afterwards, I like crashed my head down on the pillow. And then I turned to the girl I was dating at the time and said, I feel like my mother never loved me. So, yeah. That was the last time I hooked up with her. It was weird.
Super weird.
Yeah. All right. We'll end confession session on that note. We have about 5 seconds before we get into a beef tip. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the show, as always. If you're lurking, make sure you throw a comment out there. It helps boost our algorithm as we continue to grow. That's the attempt anyways, right? All right. Thank you, Weirdo. You're awesome as always.
I try.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. But tomorrow is going to be a super show as Weirdo, Rico, and Maury are all going to be in studio. And we're going to have one hell of a Thursday. I promise you that. But before we leave you, I'd like to give you a beef tip. My beef tip is group 6 rules for group texts.
Okay.
Yeah, because we get a lot of group texts, especially the more friends you have or colleagues. And someone came up with the list of rules for these group texts.
Oh, you said text.
Yeah.
Group text.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said,
Okay,
yeah,
no.
Anyway.
Get your mind out the gutter. Hey, God. You can't be the dirty one on this show. You're ruining my reputation. Anyways, okay. So these are the 6 rules. They include no more than 12 people. And I guess this could work for group sex as well. 6 is ideal. Okay.
Yeah.
New members must be approved first.
Yeah.
0 pressure to respond in a timely fashion. And if it's work-related group chat, no texting on weekends. Okay, so some of those can work for group sex.
Right.
So, but those are the rules that are made up for group text. So don't be a bad group texter. Don't terrorize your friends and colleagues by breaking those rules on the regular. And if you do that, people are going to like you and not talk smack behind your back. And I think that's a goal when it comes to any kind of like a public scenario. Right. So that's your beef tip. That's it. Tomorrow morning, I'll continue to give you the password to text in to be our master of prizes, but Robin Nash will have a text word for you to text in as well. And we have so much more that we'll get to tomorrow. Till then, Robin Nash is going to take over. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come.
You don't even have group sex, you big
grief.
fake.
But if you've been mean or kind of bad,
Picture
I will
wasn't
knock
real.
out